Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
We are taking a stack of research and a really, really interesting source script, and we're aiming it squarely at a very specific and I think very universal feeling. You know that feeling when you walk into a room, you don't know a soul, and suddenly you forget how to be a human being.
The universal social freeze. I know it well.
Exactly. The freeze. But today we're going to look at this through a lens that just amplifies that fear by, I don't know, a factor of 10.
Right.
We're talking about meeting new people when you are learning a second language, specifically English.
It's the double challenge, isn't it? You have the normal social anxiety that pretty much everyone has. You know, do I look okay? Is there spinach in my teeth?
Right, the classic.
And then you layer on top of that the linguistic anxiety. Do I even know the word for spinach? What's the past tense of meat again? It's a really heavy cognitive load.
It is massive. And to help us navigate this whole thing, we're deconstructing a script from a podcast called English is Your Bridge. Okay. And it features two characters, Emma, who's the teacher persona, and Leo, who is the relatable learner. And Leo, well, Leo is all of us.
Oh, Leo is the avatar for every single person who has ever stood in the corner at a party pretending to text someone just to avoid making eye contact.
I have been Leo. I think we have all been Leo at some point.
For sure.
But the mission for this deck dive is to take the advice that Emma gives Leo and really just explode it. We're not just going to give you a checklist.
Well, yeah.
We want to understand the psychology of why these interactions are so scary and then the specific tactical tools you can use to sort of hack that fear.
Yeah, we're going to move from like the biology of the brain, why you actually freeze up, to the sociology of the opener, and then finally get into the mechanics of keeping a conversation alive without, having a full-blown panic attack.
Okay, so let's start where the source material starts, with the mindset. Because before you even open your mouth, there is a battle happening inside your head. And in the script, Leo says something that I think is just brilliant. He compares speaking English to a mission for a superhero.
It's such a vivid image, isn't it? He says, it feels like a mission for a superhero, but I don't have a cape.
I just want to stop and unpack that for a second, because on the surface, it sounds like he's just being a little dramatic.
A little bit.
Oh, I need superpowers just to order a coffee. But there's something chemically real happening in his brain there, isn't there? Why does he feel like he needs to be Superman just to say hello?
He feels that way because of something that linguists and psychologists call the affective filter.
The affective filter. Okay, break that down for us.
So imagine there's a kind of physical wall in your brain. When you're relaxed, when you're happy, comfortable, that wall is down.
Okay.
Information goes in, language comes out, it's easy. But when you're anxious, when you feel like everyone is judging every word you say, that wall goes way, way up.
So it's a blockade.
It is literally a blockade. High cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, they actually inhibit the parts of your brain responsible for language production, like Broca's area.
Wow.
So when Leo says he feels like he needs super strength, it's because his normal human strength has been, in a way, paralyzed by his own biology. He can't access the English he actually knows. It's in there, he just can't get to it.
That is fascinating. So he's standing by the drinks, looking at his phone, not because he's fundamentally antisocial, but because his brain has literally engaged the fight or flight response.
Exactly. And in a modern social setting, flight doesn't mean running out the door screaming.
Right.
It means hiding behind a screen. The smartphone is the modern shield.
It's the "I'm busy, don't hurt me" shield.
It is. I am engaging with someone else who isn't physically here, so I am completely safe from you.
Oh.
But Emma, the teacher in our source, she calls him out on this almost immediately. She says, you don't need a cape. You need tools.
I love that distinction. A cape implies you need to be special or gifted. A tool implies you just need a wrench. Anyone can use a wrench.
Precisely. If you think you need to be a superhero, you're always going to feel inadequate. But if you realize you just need a strategy to lower that affective filter, to bring the wall down, then it suddenly becomes a solvable problem.
Okay, so let's look at the first tool she gives him, and it's not even a word, it's physical.
It has to be physical, right?
Yeah.
Because before we speak, we signal. Our bodies are talking long before our mouths are. Emma talks about the smile.
Now, I have to play the skeptic here for just a minute.
Go for it.
Because just smile sounds like the kind of advice you get from a cheesy motivational poster. It just sounds too simple. Just smile and the world smiles with you. Does this actually work in the trenches?
It does, but we need to understand why it works to really take it seriously. It's not just about looking nice. It's about mirror neurons.
Mirror neurons, okay.
Yeah. So we have these neurons in our brains that fire when we see someone else perform an action. So if I see you smile, my brain's smile neurons actually fire, even if I don't move my own face.
Huh.
It triggers a kind of reciprocal feeling of safety and warmth.
So by smiling, I am literally hacking the other person's brain to make them feel safer around me.
You're de-escalating a potential threat. I mean, think about it from an evolutionary perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk up to a stranger in a new place with a blank, serious face, looking at the floor,
Mm-hmm.
what is the biological signal you're sending?
I'm hiding something, or I'm angry, or maybe I'm sick. Not good things.
Right. In the wild, a silent, unsmiling stranger is a threat. And Emma points this out to Leo. She asks him, if you see someone looking at the floor with a very serious face, do you want to talk to them?
And what does he say?
He admits, no, I think they are angry or busy.
That's the resting scared face.
Yes, the resting scared face. You, the learner, are just in your head thinking about verb conjugations. You're just focusing.
Right. You're concentrating.
But to the outside world, your concentration face looks like a go-away face.
That is a huge disconnect, isn't it? You think you're just being careful and thoughtful, but you're actually broadcasting hostility.
Exactly. So Emma introduces this really lovely concept of the open door.
The open door. I like that visualization.
Yeah, a smile and some eye contact, they act as the door handle.
Okay.
It signals to the entire room, I am open for business, I am friendly, you can approach me.
So it lowers the affective filter for both people. It makes you feel a little better, and it makes them feel safer approaching you.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
Okay, so we've dropped the cape. We've put down the phone. We are smiling. We're letting those mirror neurons do their work. The door is officially open.
Right.
Now comes the hard part. Crossing the threshold. You know, the first word.
The icebreaker.
Leo is terrified of this. He thinks he needs some kind of amazing opening line, something worthy of a movie script. He thinks he has to be witty.
Mm-hmm.
But Emma just shuts that down. What's her advice?
She goes radically simple. She says, hello, hi. Or if you're feeling adventurous, hi, how's it going?
That's it. Just, hi.
That is it.
Yeah.
And I think this is where highly intelligent people really struggle the most with language learning. They want to be as smart and as clever in their second language as they are in their first.
But you can't be, not at the beginning.
You just can't be. Not yet. You have to accept being simple. You have to embrace the banality of hello.
Embrace the banality. I like that.
Yeah, Emma explains the idiom, break the ice. And I think this is worth spending a moment on. Why do we call it ice?
Well, the silence between strangers, it feels cold, doesn't it? It feels rigid. It's frozen.
Exactly. It's a solid barrier between you. So the goal of that first word, it isn't to transfer complex information. It's just to crack the solid surface.
Ah.
Hi is the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if it's a smart hammer or a dumb hammer. As long as it cracks the ice, the water, the conversation can start to flow.
So hi is a functional tool. It's not poetry. It's a hammer.
Right. And once you say hi, the pressure of that silence creates a vacuum.
Yeah.
The other person has to respond. It's a social contract. They'll say hi back.
Okay, but this leads us directly to the biggest fear that Leo has. And honestly, it's my biggest fear too.
Dreaded.
The dreaded now what moment.
Silence after the hello.
Yes, you say hi, they say hi, and then you just stand there and stare at each other while your soul slowly leaves your body.
The awkward abyss.
Mm-hmm.
This is where most conversations go to die.
It is.
And this is where you can't rely on improvisation. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because remember, your brain is stressed. You need a script. You need a formula.
And Emma provides a really solid one. She calls it the comment plus question strategy.
This is the core technical skill of this entire deep dive. If you take one thing away, it should be this formula. Comment plus question.
Let's break it down. Step 1.
Step 1, observe the environment. Just look around you. What's happening? Step 2, make a comment on something you can both see. Step 3, ask a question related to that comment.
It sounds so simple on the surface, but there is some deep, deep sociology at play here. This whole thing relies on a concept called triangulation.
Oh, I love triangulation. Tell us more about that.
So imagine you and the stranger are 2 points on a triangle. If I look you directly in the eye and asked, how are you, or who are you, that's a direct line between us.
Right.
It's intense. It can be high pressure.
It feels like an interview. Or worse, an interrogation.
Exactly. But if we both turn and look at a third point, the third tip of the triangle, the pressure is immediately diffused. We aren't looking just at each other anymore. We're looking at it.
And it is the shared environment.
Precisely. So let's look at the first scenario from the source script. The bus stop.
Okay, set the scene. You're at a bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's raining a little, the bus is late, you're standing next to a total stranger.
If I turn to you and just say, what is your job? That's weird.
It's way too direct. It's too personal. You haven't earned the right to ask that yet.
But if I use the formula, step 1, observe. The bus is late. Step 2, comment. The bus is really late today, isn't it?
Okay, stop right there. I want to highlight the grammar of that sentence. The bus is really late today, isn't it? That little tag at the end, that isn't it, is a magical piece of social engineering.
Why is that tag so important?
Because it turns a simple statement into an invitation. If you just say, the bus is late, that's a fact. I could ignore it if I wanted to.
Sure.
But adding, isn't it, demands agreement. It gently forces me to nod and say, yeah, it is. It greases the wheels of the whole interaction.
So we've now established the third point of the triangle, the late bus. We are now allies against the bad bus service.
You have established common ground.
And then comes step 3, the question. In the source, Emma suggests, do you take this bus every day?
And just note how low stakes that question is. It's still about the bus. It's not about their dreams or their fears. It's about their routine.
It's safe.
It's incredibly safe. And because it's mostly a yes-no question, or at least a simple factual question, it's very easy for the stranger to answer. You're not asking them to write an essay for you. You're just asking for a reflex.
Let's run another simulation, the second scenario from the script, the cafe.
Okay. You're in a coffee shop. It's really loud. What do you do?
Okay, well, I can't talk about the bus. So,
Okay.
I observe. The music is thumping.
Step 2. Comment.
The music is quite loud here, right? Again, using that little tag, right, to invite agreement.
And step 3. The question.
Do you like this kind of music?
Perfect. You've triangulated using the music. You're not asking, what is your overall taste in music across all genres, which is a huge personal question. You're just asking, do you like this specific noise we are both hearing right now?
It anchors the entire conversation in the present moment, the here and now.
And that takes all the pressure off you as the learner to be interesting. You don't have to be a philosopher, you just have to be a reporter. Report on the world around you.
I love that. Be a reporter. That is a role I can play, even if my vocabulary is small.
Exactly. I can report that the bus is late. I can report that the music is loud. Easy.
Okay, so that strategy works great for strangers in the wild. You know, the bus stop, the cafe, the line at the grocery store.
Right.
But let's dial up the difficulty setting a bit. Let's talk about the party.
The social event. The final boss.
This is different, isn't it? Because at a bus stop, silence is acceptable. It's the default. At a party, silence feels like failure.
The stakes are definitely higher. The social expectation is that you must mingle. This creates what we call a high context pressure. Everyone is watching. Or at least it feels like they are.
So you can't just talk about the weather for 3 hours. You need a better opener. And Emma, in the source, gives us a magic key phrase specifically for this context.
I wrote this one down in all caps in my notes. The phrase is, how do you know name of host?
How do you know Sarah, or how do you know the host? Why is this specific question the absolute gold standard for parties?
Because it creates an instant narrative bridge. Everyone at that party is connected to the host in some way. That is the one thing you know for a fact about every single person there.
Right.
So by asking this, you're not asking for a fact. You're asking for a story.
And the answer is almost guaranteed to give you more information you can use.
Exactly. Just think about the possible answers. Oh, we went to college together. We work in the same office. She's my cousin. We met at a yoga class a few years ago.
Every single one of those answers opens a new door for another question.
And this brings us to the next crucial skill we have to talk about. Active listening. But not just listening to be polite. Listening like a detective. Emma uses this great analogy of hooks.
The fishing analogy, I like this one.
Yeah. When the person answers your question, they are throwing hooks into the water. And a hook is usually a noun, a topic.
Okay, let's play this out. I ask you, how do you know the host? You say, oh, we work together at the big marketing firm downtown.
Okay, stop. The hooks in that sentence are work and marketing.
So my next question doesn't have to be inventive or clever at all. I just grab one of the hooks. Oh, marketing. That's interesting. How long have you been doing that?
Or, is it a busy time at work for you guys right now? You just follow the noun. It's that simple.
What if you say, we went to college together?
The hook is college. So you ask, oh, cool, what did you study? Or, which college did you go to?
It feels like the other person is literally writing the script for you in real time.
They are. And that is the secret of great conversationalists. They don't actually generate that many new topics. They just harvest the topics that the other person drops in front of them.
Emma uses another analogy here that I think is really helpful for learners. She compares conversation to a game of ping pong.
Yes. The Ping-Pong Rally.
How does thinking about it that way change the way a learner should approach it?
Well, think about a bad game of ping pong. I hit the ball to you. You catch it, you hold it, you just look at it.
Game over.
Game over. In a conversation, a simple answer is catching the ball. If I ask you, how are you? And you just say, fine, and then silence. You've got the ball.
So you have to hit it back.
You absolutely must return the serve. And the return is the question. I'm fine, thanks. And you. That "and you" is the paddle hitting the ball back across the net.
But there's a nuance here that I want to explore. In a real competitive game of ping pong, you try to smash the ball so the other person can't possibly return it.
Right. You want to win the point.
But in conversation, the goal is the complete opposite, isn't it?
It's a cooperative game. You want to hit the ball back gently so the other person can return it easily. You want the rally to last forever.
So don't ask a question that's too complex or too difficult.
Exactly. Don't smash the ball by asking, so, what are your thoughts on the overarching geopolitical implications of the current global trade war?
Oh, laughs. Yeah, that's a smash. They might not be able to return that one.
That's a smash. They're going to drop their paddle and walk away.
Just a nice, gentle lob. Do you like the food here?
Do you like the food? Is a perfect lob. Anyone can hit that back. The goal is just to keep the ball in the air. That is success.
I really like that visualization. Keep the ball in the air. But let's be real for a second. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the ball drops.
Oh, yeah.
Your mind just goes completely blank. You forget every single word you've ever learned in English.
The white room phenomenon.
Yeah.
Your mind is just a white, empty room with nothing in it.
It is terrifying. And this is where we need the safe list. Emma provides 4 topics that are essentially your break in case of emergency class.
These are the absolute classics. Weather, food, location, and hobbies.
Let's run through them quickly, but I want to focus on why they are so safe. Number 1, weather.
It is the ultimate universal connector. It requires zero personal vulnerability. You aren't revealing anything deep about your soul by saying, it's hot today.
It's true.
It's safe for everyone, everywhere.
Number 2, food and drink.
This is sensory. It's immediate. This cake is delicious. The coffee is a little bitter. It's another form of triangulation. We're not talking about me or you. We're talking about the cake.
Right, the third point of the triangle again. Number 3, location.
Do you come to this park often? Have you ever been to this city before? Again, it's grounding the conversation in the here and now. Very low pressure.
And number 4, and this is the one I really want to deep dive on, hobbies.
What do you like to do on the weekends?
Why is this one the ultimate weapon in a language learner's arsenal?
So this is where we get into what I call the happiness factor. But linguistically, it's about something called domain expertise.
Okay, explain that.
Think about the massive cognitive load of speaking English when you're learning.
Yeah.
You're translating in your head, you're searching for words, you're stressing about grammar. It's exhausting.
It's a mental workout.
It really is. Now imagine you love playing the guitar. You have probably read about guitars in English. You've probably watched YouTube videos about guitars in English. You know the words strings, fret, tuning, acoustic, pickup.
That's a good point. Even if my general English is pretty bad, my guitar English is probably pretty good.
Exactly. So if you can steer the conversation towards hobbies, you are moving the entire battle to your home turf. You are moving to a topic where you already have the vocabulary.
So it's a strategic move. You ask them about their hobby, hoping that eventually they'll ask you about yours.
It's a fair trade. And even if you just end up talking about their hobby, say, they love baking people light up when they talk about what they love. And here is the absolutely crucial insight from the source material.
What's that?
When people are happy and passionate, the grammar police disappear. They just vanish.
This gets to the grammar versus connection debate. Leo is terrified of making a mistake, of saying I goes instead of I go.
And that fear, for the most part, is a hallucination.
Really? You think so? If I walk up to a native speaker and I butcher a verb tense, they're not secretly judging me.
I mean, maybe 1 in 100 is, but overwhelmingly, no. Research shows that native speakers prioritize meaning over form. If you say, with a big smile, yesterday I go to park and see dog, I know exactly what you mean. I'm picturing the park. I'm picturing the dog. I am not mentally pulling out a red pen and grading your conjugation sheet.
Because the goal of the conversation is connection, not a grammar quiz.
We call it phatic communion. It's a fancy term, but it just means the purpose of the speech is social bonding. not data transfer.
Yeah.
If you are smiling and you're enthusiastic and you're listening, I don't care about your prepositions. I care about your energy.
So passion eats grammar for breakfast.
I love that. Passion eats grammar for breakfast. It's so true. A robotic, perfectly grammatical sentence is boring. A messy, passionate story about your hobby is engaging.
So the advice is, if you make a mistake, just keep going. Don't stop.
Just keep going. If you stop to correct yourself every 3 words, you break the rhythm.
Yeah.
You kill the ping-pong rally. It's so much better to be fluent and wrong than to be perfect and halted.
That is incredibly liberating. It's like you're giving people permission to be imperfect.
You're giving them permission to be human. Nobody speaks perfectly, not even native speakers.
Okay, so we've covered the awkward silence, the party opener, the fear of going blanked, and the fear of grammar. But there is one huge variable we haven't controlled for yet.
Oh, yeah.
The other person, specifically the person who speaks at 100 miles per hour.
Part 5. The speed demon. The fast talker.
You know this person. You say hello, and they respond with just a wall of sound. Zoo, as Leo puts it in the script.
It's so overwhelming. Your brain just shuts down. That affective filter we talked about just slams shut.
And Leo asks a very honest, very vulnerable question here. He asks, do I just nod and pretend I understand?
The classic smile and nod. We have all done it.
I've done it in my own language when I'm tired.
Me too. But Emma gives a very, very stern warning in the script. Do not do it. It's a trap.
Why is it a trap? It feels so much safer in the moment.
It feels safe for about 10 seconds until they ask a follow-up question. Imagine they just told you a sad story about how their dog died, and you're just there smiling and nodding.
Oh, God. That's horrifying.
And then they say, it's so sad, isn't it? And you're just grinning like an idiot. You have now created a social disaster that is way worse than just admitting you didn't understand.
Or they ask a logistical question like, so what time should we meet tomorrow? And you have no idea what you just agreed to.
Exactly. It's a ticking time bomb, so you have to interrupt. But Leo's afraid. He thinks asking them to slow down is rude.
And a lot of learners feel that way.
They do, but we need to reframe that fear completely. It is not rude. Think about the tourist analogy that Emma uses.
This is a great perspective shift. She asks Leo, if a tourist came to your city and tried to speak your language, would you be annoyed if they asked you to slow down?
And be honest. Would you?
No, of course not. I'd probably be impressed they were even trying. I'd want to help them. I'd speak slower and clearer.
Exactly. You would feel helpful. You would feel like a good host for your culture. Well, guess what? English speakers feel the exact same way. Most people are generally kind. If you say, I'm learning, please slow down, you aren't being a burden. You are actually giving them a chance to be helpful and feel good about themselves.
It appeals to their ego in a positive way. They get to be the benevolent patient teacher for a moment.
It's the Ben Franklin effect. Asking someone for a small favor actually makes them like you more.
So we need some magic phrases here. We need the actual tools, the words to use to stop the speed demon without killing the vibe.
Yes. For everyone listening, memorize these. Put them in your back pocket. Phrase 1. I'm sorry, could you say it a little slower?
Simple, direct, polite.
Phrase 2, which I like even more. I'm still learning English. Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, I like that one because it gives the context. It explains why you are asking them to repeat it.
It manages their expectations immediately. Once you say, I'm still learning, the other person instantly adjusts their speed and their vocabulary. They switch from normal native speaker mode to helpful communicator mode.
So you are actually controlling the flow of the conversation by admitting your weakness.
Vulnerability is a strength in this context. It builds trust and cooperation.
Okay, we are coming into the home stretch, part 6. You've smiled. You've used the comment in question. You've triangulated about the bus. You've survived the speed demon.
You're doing great.
But now you need to leave.
The exit strategy.
This is just as important as the entrance, maybe more so. Sometimes you get stuck in a conversation that's just going on too long, or maybe you just genuinely have to go to the bathroom.
And there's a real fear of being rude. If I walk away, they're going to think I'm bored of them or I don't like them.
So we need a formula for this too. And Emma gives us a great one. Reason plus compliment.
Or compliment plus reason. The order is flexible, but you need both of those ingredients.
You can't just say bye and walk away.
No, that's so abrupt, it feels like a rejection. This formula, it actually relies on something called the peak end rule from psychology.
The peak end rule. Tell me more.
People tend to judge an entire experience, largely based on how it felt, at its peak. its most intense moment, and at its very end.
Huh.
So if you have a great conversation, but then you end it awkwardly, the person is more likely to remember the awkwardness. But if you end it warmly and smoothly, they remember the warmth.
So the goodbye is actually the most important part for the lasting impression you leave.
In many ways, yes. So let's practice the formula. Compliment plus reason.
Okay. It was really nice meeting you. That's the compliment. But I see my friend just arrived over there. I should probably go say hi. That's the reason.
See what that does. The compliment says, I value you and this interaction. The reason says, I am leaving because of an external factor, not because of you. It protects their ego.
That is the key, isn't it? It's not you, it's the situation. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's do another one. I really enjoyed our chat. There's the compliment. But I'm going to go grab some more water. There's the reason.
It's so smooth. It leaves the door open. It's warm.
And if you really want to cement that connection, like if you actually want to see this person again, you need to build a little bridge to the future.
Right. Leo jokes in the script about just saying, give me your phone.
A little aggressive. Give me your phone. Sounds more like a robbery than a friendly request.
So what's the low-pressure alternative?
Emma suggests something like, I'd love to chat more sometime. Are you on Instagram?
Are you on Instagram? Is the modern business card, isn't it? It's so much lower stakes than asking for a phone number.
It is. It allows you to follow each other without the immediate pressure of having to text them. Or even just, could I get your WhatsApp? It implies a casual, asynchronous communication.
It's another gentle lob, just keeping the ball in the air for the next game.
Exactly. You're setting up the possibility of a future rally.
All right, we have built a massive toolkit here. We have gone from mirror neurons to ping-pong rallies to the peak end rule. Let's do a quick review, a kind of mental checklist for our listeners before we send them out into the wild.
Let's recap the whole journey. Okay, step 1, the mindset. Drop the cape. You don't need to be a superhero. You just need to lower your own affective filter.
Step 2, the signal. Smile and make eye contact. Open the door. Use your mirror neurons to make them feel safe with you.
Step 3, the opener. Break the ice with a simple hi. Remember, it's a hammer, not a poem.
Step 4, the strategy. Comment plus question. Use triangulation by talking about the environment and use those little tag questions like, isn't it, to reduce the pressure.
5, the flow. Listen for the hooks they give you. Catch the ball with an answer and then gently hit it back with a question. Keep the rally going.
6, the safety net. Use the safe topics like hobbies to leverage your own domain expertise. And remember, passion eats grammar.
And finally, 7, the exit. Leave them feeling good about the conversation with a clear reason plus a warm compliment.
It sounds so manageable when you break it down like that. It's a process. It's almost an algorithm for social interaction.
It is. And like any algorithm, or really any muscle, it requires practice. You can't just listen to this deep dive and suddenly become a social butterfly. You have to do the reps.
Which brings us to the challenge. Emma gives Leo a weekly challenge at the end of the script, and I think we should extend this challenge to all of our listeners right now.
The challenge is beautifully simple. Speak to one new person this week.
Just one. That's it.
Just one. And keep the stakes as low as possible. Don't try to crash a diplomatic gala at an embassy.
No.
Talk to a cashier at the store. Talk to a neighbor when you're getting your mail. Talk to someone at the bus stop.
And the goal isn't to have some deep philosophical debate. The goal is just one hello or one small comment. Wow, the line is long today, isn't it?
That counts. If you do that, you win. You've broken the barrier. You have proven to your anxious brain that the white room doesn't have to stay empty.
I love Leo's reaction to this in the script. He says he's going to go home and practice his smile in the mirror.
And Emma jokes, don't scare yourself. But honestly, practicing in the mirror isn't a bad idea at all. Getting comfortable with your own friendly face is step 1.
It's about checking your own signal. Are you broadcasting, I'm busy and stressed, or I'm open and friendly?
Exactly. Know what message you're sending before you even say a word.
Well, this has been a really, really enlightening deep dive. I feel like I learned a few things for my own social anxiety, to be honest.
Me too. I'm definitely going to be using the reason plus compliment exit strategy at my next extended family reunion.
There you go. It was so great catching up, Grandma, but I really need to go get some more water.
Works every single time.
Thank you all for listening. Remember, English is your bridge. It's not a barrier. Go out there, be brave, and open that door.
And just say hi.
And say hi. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.